Welcome to Slasher Sunday. No, what is that noise?
Okay,
People already know. We don't start things over. Welcome to Sinister Cinema. No, I was saying like welcome to Sinister Cinema to you.
Oh.
Where we don't do second takes.
Oh, welcome to Sinister Cinema Slasher Sunday, where there's no second takes ever.
Ever. Okay? That's not 100% accurate, but it's 99% accurate. I almost never do a second take. Unless there's an audio issue or I straight fuck up on a spoiler in a spoiler-free review. And I say something that I'm like, dat the killer.
Dat the killer.
Anyways, so I apologize for her noises, whatever the hell that was. And we are here to talk about the New York Ripper.
New York Ripper.
Yeah. Not Jack the Ripper, which is kind of the voice that I'd be doing.
That you're going for?
Yeah. But this one takes place in New York. Hence the name The New York Ripper. And this is in my Blue Underground 3-disc Lucio Fulci, as Kaylee likes to call him. So, lately I've been showing Kaylee Lucio Fulci work. And we started with The Beyond. Mm-hmm. We moved on to City of the Living Dead last night. We watched Zombie or Zombie Flesh Eaters or Zombie 2 or whatever fucking title you want to go with. And then we have now watched this one, The New York Ripper. So she has seen 4 of his films. And the only other Italian movie that she's aware of that she's seen is Dario Argento's Suspiria.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah. So what are you thinking about the Fulci?
The Fulci Meister? He's great. I really like his style. I think that I really enjoy the color palette, I think mainly. Well, I don't know if I'd say mainly, but the color and definitely the music, I feel like make the movies, they have a definite stamp on them of his style. And I'm really into it. The acting is borderline bad sometimes, but sometimes it's actually pretty decent, which is cool. And all the stories, all of the movies that you've shown me all feel very different from each other, which is cool because I think that he's able to tell stories just really well and diversely.
Even if they don't really make any sense in the end.
Yeah, they don't not make sense, but they're definitely out there. And like you've been saying, it's more about the style and the art of it than
that's Italian cinema.
The story. But I wouldn't say that the stories are that hard to follow. Not The Howling 3.
Oh my god.
Or The Howling 2. Yeah.
So, anyway, no, she's incorrect. Fulci is all about the tits and the gore. That's what we're here for, right? Not so much.
Right.
That's okay. But you do like the gore.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's, with his films, with these Italian films, you kind of get the satisfaction, but also there is this disconnect from reality because while the work is good, none of it looks realistic.
Yeah.
Right? There's this fakeness to it that is able to kind of distance your brain from reality and take it more as, entertainment, shock, catharsis, however you want to take this kind of stuff. And a lot of modern day horror, if they do show gore, especially if the thing has any budget to it at all, the shit looks almost indecipherably real. Mm-hmm.
I think
do you have a preferred?
Yeah, I think I like both of them pretty equally. Yeah. I really enjoy seeing the hyper realistic where it's that's a fucking dead body that they're cutting up.
Autopsy.
That's really cool, and obviously it does have artistic value because for it to look that realistic is amazing. But I also like the kind of cartoony version that he does. I still think that it's, I don't know, it's really fun and it honestly looks great. There's definitely a few times where it's But for the most part, like, it looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this has some, this one isn't overly gory. This one's more overly sexual.
Super sexual, which was interesting because, I mean, like you said, there's obviously like a naked chick, and there's definitely, like, in every movie that you've shown me so far. And that's, like, it's there, but it's not, it definitely feels more like he wants to showcase, like, beautiful women's bodies. And I don't know how much of it has to do with necessarily any of the plots in those other movies that we've watched, but in this one, it is definitely plot-centric, that, like, it's women being killed. And
I think it's much more efficient to wear nothing while scuba diving. Okay?
I don't know. I don't know how efficient, but
it's more cost effective. You don't have to buy a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then what happens if
you're
scratch
born
yourself
in your
on some coral?
Or if you're attacked by a tiger shark.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, but this one was a lot more sexual than the others. Which is fine. I mean, it was weird. It was really fucking weird at times. There's a couple scenes that are like just fucking bizarre. But I still, like, I dug it a lot.
So what's your favorite Fulci film as of right now, the taping of this on November the 11th, 2021?
Time of day. Definitely my favorite is probably The City of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Second favorite is The Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And then third favorite is probably Zombie 2. And this is my fourth.
Any Fulci fan out there, in case you're like screaming at the screen, like, how could you show her 2 of the Gates of Hell trilogy films without the third? I'm getting there, okay? I'm getting there. I just wanted to show her the zombie versus shark and the eyeball gouge in Zombie. And then tonight we needed a slasher Sunday, and she was like, have you done this? And I was like, I did it on my podcast. I haven't done it on my old podcast. I haven't done it on the channel yet, so that'd be a good one, since we're going to be doing Monster Monday right after this. So anyways, okay, so this movie starts out with cute little Bessie the Handy Helper.
Bessie the Handy Helper.
That's right.
Yep.
I wrote that joke down. Bessie the Handy Helper.
Wow.
This little Bessie runs into the shrubbery.
Yeah.
And she returns with a little bit more than that guy threw in.
Yeah.
Which is a hand.
A dead hand. A severed hand.
A dead hand?
It's not a live one.
No?
No.
Like a live one would be like attached to another, like a person.
It could be like the Thing. Her Thing from...
Or like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ash's hand from Evil Dead 2. Then we get this pretty girl on a bike who scratches a guy's bug, and she gets
It's not a bug.
Not like a little bug.
Not like an actual beetle.
Yeah, well, it is a beetle.
It's a vehicle beetle. Beetle.
It's a bug beetle. Beetle bug. And she gets some really worthy, good advice that all women should listen to. That she should stay at home, like all women.
Just stay home.
And that she's a nuisance to society by even being out in the world.
She's got a chicken brain.
She does have a chicken brain.
That's also something that she was told.
She does have a chicken brain. And that chicken, unfortunately, is going to meet her rival, the duck. That's,
I didn't know you were going there with it. I thought you were going to make like a chicken joke.
Nope.
Yeah, the duck trumps chicken, I guess, in this movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he gave her a little kung pao. That. No? No? Okay, fine. Anyway. So she gets pissed off at this guy, wants to go into his car, right? Shithead, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Or eat shit. Maybe she started with shit first and she was gonna.
The second word?
Yeah. I don't know what she was gonna put. What do you think she's gonna
I think
put?
It was gonna be shithead.
Shithead?
Yeah. Shit face. I don't know. That doesn't work actually.
Shit on your seat, and then she took a shit on the seat.
Should like it'll wash off with a little bit of water.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little scrub. So she's in the car, and then the killer gets in, and she actually like sits down and has a conversation with this guy, which is interesting because it makes you wonder. Like we find out who the killer is eventually after like 4 red herrings. And then the reveal that, like, the killer is this person. Then it's like, oh, no, it's not. And then the killer is this person. No, it's not.
But I called who it was going to be fairly early on. Like, I think the second he was introduced, I was like, it's him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But there is a bunch of fake reveals.
What gave it away for you was his bill.
And his waddle.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And
that water just rolled right off his back.
It's like, he's water resistant. What? No. It was definitely her little hallucination. I mean, come on. Who else could it have been, too? Like, it was just too obvious. There was too many, like, obvious pointers towards the...
I thought it was her.
Other guy. Yeah. Well, at the very end, I was like, oh, it's actually her? Because I didn't know who the girl... We'll get there. I didn't know who the girl in the hospital was until they, like, said... Because it looked like her sister.
Sure. I thought it was her in a flashback.
No, because she goes to visit her. Oh, you mean like she's just like hallucinating like in the window, like that was me.
Yeah.
And now I have...
And then she has no arm, and I was like, oh,
and she has
can't
no leg.
be her.
She missed
but when I saw her arm, I was like, oh, unless that girl's got the best fake arm ever. So, couldn't be her. But yeah, I mean, he's able to kind of like get in a car and have a conversation with her. Now, his motives in this are that his daughter is ill and is dying, and he thinks it's unfair that other women get to grow up and live their life, and he's just not having that. He's got to get vengeance for his kid. He latches on to some duck character that she's into and that he does a voice for her too. Why he wouldn't just like spend her last days with her instead of going around murdering women. I mean, he's a lunatic. Who the hell knows? But yeah, that girl's how old? 7, 8, 10? How old is that little girl?
Not 10. She looked like she was 7 or
She's
8 maybe.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been dating this new girl, but she seems to not know anything about... Wait, she does know about it.
She knows that he has a daughter in the hospital, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely think any film, pretty much almost any Italian film I've ever watched, like from this era, doesn't really hold up to scrutiny. You can't really overanalyze anything. There's a lot of conveniences here for sure. The first red herring, who I'll refer to as Crazy Eights.
Wait, I was like...
I think these fingers. He says it's on his right hand now. Hey, I'm Crazy Eights. He is just so conveniently placed around people who end up dying.
Right.
And whatnot. And then is the girlfriend here the one with the 180 IQ? Does she actually encounter this guy on the train and he's being a creep and then she gets cut in the leg, but that's by her boyfriend, and then that's why she dreams about him? I don't see,
that whole part is very confusing to me because she escapes and we don't actually see how she escapes, but then the very next scene is like her dream sequence, which she wakes up. So I thought she did.
But she was cut in the leg, and she didn't see the killer. She must have saw the killer.
But she did though,
and then filled it in.
Because she saw, like, we see his hand, which is in the glove. Yeah, she's face to face with him.
He was probably wearing a Donald Duck mask.
I guess yes, but possibly she sees the creepy guy on the train, and he starts chasing her, and then that's when she runs into her boyfriend, I guess. And that's when he stabs her, and maybe in her trauma, she's like, mixing up their faces, right? I don't know, but I also, wasn't it said that the crazy guy was the guy that was going to, like, find the girls for her boyfriend? Or was that just a theory that they were working with that then they dropped? Because I kind of was a little lost with that, too.
I don't think they knew each other. We never see any interaction between them.
He finds their house. He breaks into
Yeah, he knows.
Her boyfriend's
I don't know how
apartment.
he would
She
know.
doesn't even live there. She's
Yeah.
just staying there with him when she's recovering.
I guess it would only
So-
make sense that they do know each other and are, collaborating.
Yeah.
But if it's outright expressively said in this, I'm unaware of it.
I thought that they said that they knew each other and that one of them was like finding
You watched the movie too.
the girls.
You
Yeah.
tell me.
Well, that's why I'm saying I thought that that's what they
You're
said.
you're the one with the 180 IQ.
Negative.
I'm just the
180.
dumb. I'm just the dummy.
No.
Yeah, I got a 18 IQ.
No.
So,
Chicken brain.
chicken brain, cluck cluck.
Yeah.
But all right, so then after the kill in the beetle bug, we get this guy who is very aggressively trying to get off the ferry and just starts driving into the back of a car.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm still confused about is where the driver of that bug went.
Yeah.
I can only assume that he saw the dead body in his car, so he like ran off to go get someone, and then they like were docking by that point. So he was probably talking to someone upstairs, like you need to call the police.
Yeah.
That's all I can come up with. I don't know
Nice.
whether he wasn't killed.
No.
I wish he was.
Yes.
I'd way rather that dude get killed than the chick. But yeah, that definitely made me wonder. And then somebody just like. Have you ever like had a car in front of you that wasn't moving and you just decided to push it with your van
No, but
or
I'm
truck
not a
or
New
any
Yorker.
car? Yeah, like really? Like someone would do that? And I don't think that car would move like it did.
I don't know.
Like
it was
if
a
the
pretty
parking
big
brake
van.
was on,
Yeah, but
the tires wouldn't
we
do
don't-
that. It would
yeah.
like drag the tires, wouldn't it?
Maybe he left the parking brake off.
On a ferry?
Well, maybe the killer did.
Don't you have to put on your parking brake when you're on the?
I've
when
never
you're
been
the
on a
Staten
ferry.
Island thing? I have. Pretty sure you have to put on a parking brake. Whatever, it
I don't
doesn't
know.
matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, who the hell pushes someone's car? Unless it's like a lethal weapon for when they're pushing them out onto the railroad tracks.
Maybe the guy was unhinged.
Yes. Here's your fucking courtesy tap. Then we get the coroner in this who has the hairiest fucking arms I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
So hairy.
There was more hair on him than the werewolves in Howling 3.
100.
And he is kind of like judging or rating the killer's work. He's like, I mean, it could have been better. Seemed better this week. Wasn't that good.
Yeah, that was.
And he's just so blah. Like, there's a lot of characters in this that are so blah about people's deaths.
Yes.
Like, the detective seems to be the only one that really gives a shit. Even though he's out banging hookers. He just seems to be the only one who cares about women in this. But he's still banging hookers.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But the professor guy that he goes and grabs, he just thinks everything's a riot.
Yes.
Like,
Oh
he's
my
like,
gosh.
everything's
He's
like
like
funny
literally.
to
Yeah.
him. And he's like, we'll just wait for him to kill again.
Yeah. He's like laughing. He's very condescending, like the entire movie.
100,
And even at
yeah.
the very end, he's like, well, the mind is like a funny thing.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like freaking out.
Hilarious.
And he's just like smiling. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Like the direction for the actor there was just be silly,
Yeah.
I guess.
Men are careless pigs. We get Fulci himself in here as the chief of police who's coming in to be like, don't you start a panic. Very Amity Island, Jaws, mayor shit here of like, we don't need to start a panic on 4th of July weekend. You know?
Yeah.
You can't, these guys are always worried more about the bottom line, right? It's always about like, oh no, we got to bring in tourism. That's what brings this and that up, and the revenue, and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
Women are being gutted in the street.
You need to
and
get
you're
the
worried
word
about-
out there
Yeah.
to save people, for them to be like more aware, and then also for people to be looking for the killer.
Well, they say in this, and I, they say in this that there's 12 people murdered a day in New York, and that more than half of them are women. So to them, this is another Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so a woman was murdered. What the fuck else is new? I got 7 more in the morgue right now. This guy's down there with a judging committee. Like, that's an 8 for that incision.
It's an 8.
Sloppy decapitation. If you get a hold of him, let me know. I'll get him the right tools.
Well, then later on, though, they have a DJ on a radio DJ that said, like, he's like, why are you killing those ladies? Leave them alone, 2-fingered Ripper Man. And obviously that helps the girl that's tied up because she's like, what the fuck?
I don't know if that helps her. She ends up dying.
Yeah, but...
And he comes to where he's at.
Yeah.
See, and then he's also where that guy is on the train. Mm-hmm. They have to be working in tandem.
Or even if the boyfriend isn't necessarily working with him, but is like, I'm going to use him as my scapegoat and
follows him around. It's possible, but the fact that he just so happened to be on the train with this guy's girlfriend and went after her so aggressively. Like, and how did he land the older married chick? Like, I know she was, like, sexually promiscuous, but, like, he saw her in the live sex porn place, and then he was just taking her to a hotel, and, like, the next thing, and he didn't catch her.
They had no dialogue whatsoever, so I don't know how.
They didn't meet up. Like, he looked over and he saw her, like, masturbating, which, of course, cued him into, like, oh, I could totally get this chick.
Yeah.
But then he looks over and she's gone.
Yeah.
And so they have no interaction, but then it's, like, the next night... Somehow she's going to a hotel room with him. Like, how did he track her down?
I don't know. Or how did she track him down?
And what's up with
she said she made plans.
She did, yeah. So he must have caught her? He must have been like, yo, let's go fuck later?
Yeah. And she's like, let me just tell my husband.
She's like, but I like 3 fingers. And he's like... I got another hand. And she's like... I want toes.
He's like, I got
10 of them. Yeah, she gets toe fucked in this, and she likes it. She loves it.
Silver toes?
Silver toes, man. Good old silver toes. Giving her that.
That was gnarly. That was really gnarly.
His toes were gross.
His toes were, like, not even cut. Like, there's no way that would have felt good with his toenails, like, scraping against her.
She's into that shit. Look at her tits after she sleeps with Crazy 8.
Does she even know where those toes have been?
Up. And lots of ladies. These silver toes.
Put some toe condoms on.
Good thing that she's not a marsupial werewolf. Otherwise, those silver toes would have burned her vagina out.
Wait.
She's got silver toes. Or you might need to hook up with titanium toes. Anyways, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
So, one of the funniest lines of dialogue in this entire film to me is that the detective here is talking with this woman. And it's like the same day or like the day before. And she's talking about how this guy sounded just like a duck when he was talking, which is really fucking bizarre when someone is talking to you and telling you that the person that they talked to started talking exactly like a duck. That would be something that you would remember, especially if you were a detective.
Yes.
Right? Then he's told by someone else, like a day later, he sounded like a duck. And he's like, where have I heard that before? Really? You can't remember that? You can't remember who told you that? Come on, man. How often? I mean, I get it. He's in New York. He's dealing with some weird shit. But
sure.
I don't think that's something he hears often.
No.
He's like, was it the girl? Oh, no. That was a giraffe. Let's see. No. That was a walrus. Somebody told me, yeah. I get told people make animal noises all the time.
Both of those animals. Okay, first of all, I don't know what a giraffe sounds like. Second of all, a walrus feels like it would be really hard to imitate. I can tell you what a giraffe with a sore throat sounds like. Ow! Yeah, because it's got a long... Did you imagine? Yeah. Just a sore throat on a giraffe? It's like your whole body. Just fucking... Yeah. 100% made that connection.
That a giraffe has a sore throat?
No,
No.
that it was the duck. That the duck voice was something he heard a day earlier.
Yes, I agree. So then we get the live sex scene, masturbation, which goes on for a very long time.
Yeah.
And she likes to record the sound of people fucking while she masturbates to take home to her doctor, her husband, who keeps the tapes next to him in his drawer. And he seems to be like, I'm gonna masturbate to these later, so make plans. Like, that's the way it felt to me.
Yeah, that's what I took it as too.
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, don't worry, I got plans."
Like, I had a feeling.
So it feels like she's the doer.
Yeah.
Right? And he's the, I don't know.
The non-doer?
Yeah.
Like the voyeur?
Yeah.
But she's a voyeur too.
Yeah, but
They're
she
both
goes out and
voyeurs.
gets fucked.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know.
She just likes to stay home
Yeah.
and listen to her antics.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a sound of her getting fucked, right?
No, it was.
Is he into that too?
Well, he had the tape of her. Actually, I don't know.
No, that was evidence.
That was the evidence of her going to the show.
But
I don't know then.
Oh.
I have no clue, but it seemed like she went out and had sex with other people, and I can only assume that she recorded those sessions as well for him. So I don't know what he's into.
Was she in that pool hall because she was trying, like, she heard rumors of the legendary silver toes and was trying to get some...
I don't know. I don't know why she went there, but she was definitely like...
She wanted to feel a little fidget from his digits.
Fidget from his digits?
Yeah.
I don't know why she went there, because she had like a Coke in front of her, so she was eating and drinking, I guess, but...
Yeah.
I think she just likes to put herself, like, I mean, you even said it, she puts herself in, like, dangerous situations and, like, around seedy and shady men because it turns her on. Like, she likes the thrill of that, so...
She probably saw the sign on the door that said, "Say no to the toe."
And she was like, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Then she went in and she saw two toes. She saw his toe and then his camel toe as well.
That was his friend's camel toe.
That was his
His friend's
the one that
camel
looked
toe.
like freaking Key from Key and Peele.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
his. That was his. That
Yeah.
was so weird. I've never seen a male camel toe before.
I'll
where
show
it
one
was
to you
like
later.
taking ball on one side, ball on other side.
Yeah.
This movie's so weird. There's so many weird things. I didn't even know they had live sex shows until this movie. I didn't know that was a thing.
I like when the chick's done getting fucked on stage, her coworker walks past her and is like, "How was it?" And she's like, "Meh."
I mean, she's a
Just
performer, right? Yeah, so it's like...
It's another Tuesday.
Exactly.
See, it's like the coroner. It's like everybody's just so bored
Like, I'd rate
with all
it
this sex
a 3.
and a murder around them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how this is taken, right? I think that's kind of the message here is like, in the crazy state of New York, like everyone's kind of numb to hardcore sex and murder.
Yeah.
Like the coroner's like, meh. The professor's like, ha! And
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
everyone's just kind
They're
of...
all very desensitized to it for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we get a broken bottle to the pussy. That's the sex worker.
Yeah.
A lot of vaginas in this movie.
There
we even
are.
get some pictures of some cockage in this.
Yeah.
But no, like, live cockage.
Yeah, I want live cockage.
Well, we do see one, sort of, in the live sex show.
Barely. It's like a little glimpse.
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Yeah. The professor in this is gay, but
Yes.
I think that's supposed to make him a red herring too. Like he's a deviant, as a lot of people would think of that back then.
I didn't even think of him as the... Well, okay, at the very beginning when he was first introduced, I was like, maybe it's him, because he's all like... Because he knew about it, he was like, is it the Ripper? And
Well,
he's like,
homosexuals
how
in
do
the
you know?
80s were definitely considered to be like sexual deviance. You know, so that puts suspicion on them for like, oh my god, they're into the same sex, that must be evil. You know,
Probably
there's
also
fucking
eat
still
babies.
people who think like that to this day, of course, but it was way more prominent in this time period. So I think that was to try to make him another suspect. And let's see. Yeah, I was definitely like taken aback with the lieutenant in bed with that girl, because it was just like them together, but then she informs us that she's a prostitute, not his wife. She specifically says those very words because he asks her for a coffee. And she's like, you can have my pussy, but no caffeine from me. And yeah, we talked about a lot of that stuff already. I put toe banging, known for his silver toes. These notes. And then I'd be absolutely humiliated if someone saw my spelling on some of these things. I also like start writing, but like I gotta take notes fast because sometimes I need to take like a new note real quick. And so I'll write something, I'll be like, wait, how do I spell that? And I'll just kind of like phonetically write it out and be like, let's just make sure no one sees that. Hell no.
I want to see the spelling errors. I'll see them later.
The guys who are toe banging the chick humiliate her for like no reason at all.
Yeah.
Like they totally could have banged this chick. I don't know if they were like, these guys just have serious game and they just get laid like every 5 minutes. So like they're just like, oh my god, this girl's so pathetic.
Yeah.
We gotta like call her out for it, but it just doesn't add up to me.
They
would have fucked her
assholes.
first.
Yeah.
And then humiliated her.
Or
that
humiliated her while they fucked her, which is the correct way to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. That their decision is, I think they're just supposed to be assholes though. Like they're just jerks that are like, this lady let us toe fuck her, like what the fuck?
Yeah, I would definitely. How are you supposed to take it when your girlfriend tells you that you murdered me in my dream? He probably tried to murder her and cut her leg, right? I mean, it had to be him, and then she subconsciously put it into her brain to dream about it. Isn't she supposed to be like a genius?
Yeah.
Shouldn't she been able to figure this out? She does figure it out at least, but she is attacked by him, and then we see this weird dream sequence where she like takes a breather, and it's just like, I'm gonna hang out in the theater, and then a hand comes up under the theater seat. But you would think that he has access to her. Like,
yeah, you could kill her anytime.
He tried to kill her.
Right.
Right? Like, that's what he was trying to do. Why did he try to kill her, A? And B, why did he wait so long to kill her later?
I mean, this is definitely one of those spots, right, where it's like if you start to analyze it, I feel like there's not really a clear answer to it. I can only assume he was trying to kill her away from his house so that there was, like, no connection to him. But I don't know why he wouldn't have just finished the job afterwards, like, pretty quickly. I guess just at that point the police were questioning her and him, so it would have brought more attention to him. Yeah. I don't know. And I don't know why he decided that all of a sudden then was when he wanted to kill her. Something happened. Maybe she didn't bring him coffee.
Yeah, I have no idea. They bring her coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a no-no.
He was like, you're a prostitute, huh?
No. It's just his girlfriend. You gotta be a wife to bring someone coffee.
I didn't know.
That's what I learned. And so no coffee for me. Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
So we're good. And I don't know. Okay. I'm not really sure what's going on in this sex scene between Crazy 8 and, the sexually active wife.
Yeah.
Sexually
promiscuity.
Mm-hmm. is she's wanting to be tied up, she's wanting to be left there while he sleeps, and then it's not until the radio, like, does she like, because, okay, I feel like her game is that she wants to pretend she doesn't want it.
Yeah. And,
like, I think she kind of has a rape fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming this is her kink. You know, I remember listening to a comedian once. I can't remember what comedian it was. This is a big name profile, like, comedian. Be Louis C.K. or one of those guys. Anyways, in the joke, it's like, this girl, like, after sex or something, was like, I wanted you to rape me. And he's like, I'm not going to just rape you on the off chance you're into it. Like, that's not going to happen. So, is she like, when she goes into that place, is she wanting these guys to take advantage of her? Is she like putting herself, like she's going into a live sex place, you know, in lingerie, under her flasher trench coat, and is she like wanting someone to just like accost her, and then she can like be like, no, because, you know, when those guys come up to her, she's like, no, I don't want it, and he's like, tell me you love it, and she's like, I like it, you know, it's like she's into it. Which is a really, really dangerous kink to have, right? I mean, a guy's supposed to listen. When a girl says no, it's over. Like, as soon as she's like, no, I'm not, I don't know if I want to do this or anything, you stop immediately. Like, straight up. So, if a guy does continue, that doesn't say much for him.
No.
Right? Even if you're into that thing, you're still putting yourself in a super dangerous situation. But that's what she's into.
Yeah.
But then once real danger presents itself, she hears this thing over the radio, she's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, she doesn't want to die.
You know, I'm surprised she didn't get her hand free and then start masturbating to the thought.
Oh my God.
Of, God, I could actually die right now.
Yeah, she's definitely putting herself into dangerous situations, and it sucks because it's like she can't do that with her husband for whatever reason. Either he's not like able to perform the way that she wants him to, or, you know, whatever.
They're just like or
that's just their dynamic.
Their
where
flavor,
yeah, and that's fine. But the situations that she's putting herself into with strangers, there's no kind of like consent where it's like, I want you to force me, but like we have a safe word, or you know, anything like that, where there is like some kind of, you know, way that you can have it stop. Instead, she's doing it with strangers who, like you said, it's a huge red flag. If she's saying, no, I don't like this, and they keep going, even if it turns her on, it's like, where will they go? Like, where would they stop?
And this is even more dangerous because this was during the AIDS epidemic. So she
Yeah.
was really risking everything. She's risking her husband's life. She's going out and she's risking her life that night. She's risking her life in the future. Like, she was really, really asking for it, and unfortunately for her, someone called her bluff and really did something to her. I've known so many chicks that have like this rape fantasy, and I think I don't know how accepted that is between women, because there's so many women that, you know, with the kind of Me Too culture of now, there's so many women that are so heavily, like, you know, not against it. I mean, every girl's against it, like real rape, but are so sensitive to even a joke about it, or even any talk about it of any sort. So it is interesting to me because I feel like this is something that women almost have to be very hush-hush about, because they don't want to like offend other women who have been raped or something, and are like, you know, like, oh, I want my lover to fucking pretend rape me.
Yeah, well, and also a lot of women who have been raped develop an attraction for it because it's a coping mechanism too. But it's interesting because it's like I said, I think a lot of people, like, if you can have a partner where there's a mutual understanding of like where the boundaries are, you know, and that can fulfill the fantasy, it works. But if you're somebody like this woman who it's like, I can't know that you are actually not going to hurt me, like I need there to be a real threat,
right?
Then that's when it's obviously dangerous, because you're, you know, putting yourself into some situation like
that's
she
one
was,
extra
right?
layer.
Yeah, it's an extra layer versus just like, I want you to pretend rape me, and like we'll be into it, but I know that like you're not going to actually hurt me.
I think that the people who have a genuine rape fantasy
Yeah.
would prefer her way, because there is that true sense of danger. Like,
Sure.
oh my God, I am being raped. Now, do women with, I guess of course this always depends on, everybody's different. Are these women that have rape fantasies? Are there some of them who are like, no, I genuinely want someone to rape me. Like I want to be accosted in public. I can't imagine that that's a very common thing by any means. But yeah, I wonder how a rapist would react. Like when he's in the middle of doing it and she's like, yes.
He's like, oh, such a turn.
He's like, oh, I'm not into this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also that kind of thing where it's like the amount of women that maybe want it for real. I don't know the numbers, but then the amount of women that want it for real, but with an attractive stranger.
Those numbers don't exist.
Like an attractive stranger versus just like some like creep that you are not attracted to. Like those are also different things. And there might be people who are attracted to that. Like I want somebody who's disgusting to do it because then it's also even more like dirty and wrong, right? So it's like,
I mean,
there's so many different layers.
There's so many
to sexuality.
There's so many fucking weird kinks out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys who pay girls to like belittle and make fun of the size of their dick. Like, and they'll like masturbate to that. Like they'll have like girls saying like, you're fucking pathetic. Oh my God, look how pathetic you are. Look how small your dick is and shit. And it's like, who the hell wants to hear that?
Those guys.
I mean, I hear that already anyway, and I'm not even paying for it.
It's so weird though.
It's so cute.
Aww. Little baby penis.
And then, let's see. So much nudity. Good. There is just so much. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's the vaginas. I think that's always what, like, gets me. Because you don't see them in film often. And in here, there's a lot of it. And it's very graphic. It's very explicit. Probably the greatest... Oh, the hooker that he ties up and puts tape over her mouth, that's got to be the funniest thing in the movie to me. The piece of tape he puts over her mouth would hold nothing. She'd be like, you might want to use duct tape next time or something. It's like a piece of Scotch tape.
Yeah,
it's like, it's not, but it's about the same.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell it is, it's about this wide. Like it barely covers their lips. It's like to here. And he like has to rip it off so she can scream. And I'm like, bro. I'm assuming that they just didn't have tape.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to hurt her to rip off. So they were like, we got to find like a real light hold tape.
It looks like medical tape. It looks like the kind of tape that you use to like, you know, like when you have a bandage and you wrap it around, which is like a soft tape.
Right, it's like gauze tape.
Yeah. It doesn't make it... That's actually one of the scenes, though, I think that's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie is her death, because that was just, all of it was awful to watch. Like, when he slices through her nipple.
Yeah, and her eyeball.
And her eyelid and eyeball, both of those are just awful. One thing, too, that I noticed that's kind of different. In a good way. Yeah, in a good way. But, yeah, it made me... it was like that kind of feeling. The thing that I noticed in this movie, though, compared to... So he has this fixation with eyes, where there's a lot of, like, close-ups and zoom-ins on people's expressions, like, around their eyes, which I really enjoy a lot. But in this movie, it was way more about the mouth. Like, there were so many close-ups of people, like, talking, and, like, when she's all, like, aroused, the doctor's wife, and all of that, which is interesting. So...
But he still brings his eyeball shit in here, for sure. Always with the eyeballs. I would say, I don't know. You've got 3 great pieces of gore in here. You've got the sliced nipple, you've got the eyeball slice, and then you've got the killer's demise where he's shot through the face, which is fucking remarkable as well. All those are great. Now, of the 3, the nipple one looks the most real. That one looked
like they cut the nipple.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking amazing how close to real that actually looked. There wasn't really any blood coming out of the nipple when he sliced it, though, which is kind of weird. I feel like there should have been a lot of blood coming out. So that was an odd choice because they definitely could have pumped blood up through it. So I'm not really sure why there wasn't much blood.
I think it's so you could see it better.
Yeah,
like
probably.
It was, the blood would have just kind of masked
Didn't want to
it.
hide the effect,
Yeah. Free the nipple.
The eyeball was really cool too because the eyeball's moving around and shit as he's slicing through it, which is pretty amazing. But the shot through the face is really awesome. It reminds me of Brawl in Cell Block 99. For all of those out there who have seen that, you'll know what I'm talking about with the end of the movie. It's fake. Like, it's clearly a fake head, but it still looks rad. It still looks rad. I want to see, like, show it to me. I don't care if it's bad CG, don't show it to me. Right? If it's a Howling 3 werewolf with a flat fucking nose, definitely show it to me.
Definitely show me more
because it's hilarious. It's either going to be really funny or it's going to be really awesome, or both. And yeah, we already talked about all that. And then this movie ends on a real downer.
Oh my god, it was so sad at the end.
This little girl's just in a hospital, like limbless, dying, alone.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's like, Daddy, please answer. Please answer. And it's just like her crying, and then it's just like credits.
So sad. Yeah, I was really bummed
Felt
at the
worse
end.
for her than anybody in this movie.
Yeah, she did nothing except be sick.
Just, like, barely live.
She did nothing except barely live.
Yeah. So bad.
Fuck, man.
So sad. Just
really
absolutely awful. Yeah. But good thing is, guys, she's an actress. She lived.
She has an arm and a leg, probably.
Probably. Unless Fulci cut it off for one of his gags. Because sometimes it just looks too real. And he's like, sorry, we paid you. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. I talked about most things I want to talk about. It's the duck voice is.
Oh man,
we haven't really touched upon it. It's an interesting choice. It's definitely not forgettable.
Yeah.
It's something from now on when Kayla's in bed at night alone. She's just gonna hear. Yeah, like Saturday nights when I'm out here, and you're like waiting for me to come to bed.
I just look
and
over.
You just look
it's just
over,
a duck.
and just Daffy and Donald are just laying next to you, and they're like. And then one of them's just like, "You want a little flipper in your."
Okay, and then I don't like any of that.
So, anyways, the New York Ripper. Some people call this a giallo. They're the same fucking thing. It's a slasher. All right, outright. It's 100% a slasher. Anyone wants to fucking say different. I've had people argue that before. They're like, "Oh no, giallo has like a whodunit to it." You mean like a slasher?
Yeah, doesn't all slashers have the whodunit?
What are you talking about? Like, they're the same thing. They're just Italian slashers, and they have a different name for them. They're fucking slasher movies. End of discussion. Anyways.
It was great.
Bye!
Bye! Now it's time for you to rate me.
I got that on film.